Really what Avatar is and what it's proven itself to be from what I saw is it's the toy machine.
I don't know what went wrong with James Cameron.
It's like reverse engineered to look like the theme park.
There were like 3-4 minutes from that entrance to this hallway where he was. Proven deleted.
Well, that's what Trump wants. He wants Bill Clinton to lose all his credibility. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Uwe Boll Raw. I am Gary Otto. I'm here with your host, Uwe Boll, and myself. Hey Uwe, how's it going, my friend?
Good, I'm named Natalie Ball now on the thing here. I don't know if it's visible. But it's the Zoom from my wife, so I couldn't change the name right now. But I'm good. Everything, my son came today, KJ from Vancouver, and so it's now coming into that Christmas time. We did a nice outdoor wood fire today, and I always use Christmas also for like getting shit in order. You know, like look at my desk, total chaos. But I I basically you go to things. What can you throw away? What I mean, you had because you moved so many times in a way. I mean, you didn't move the last 3 years. How long you are there right now in your house?
Here, I've been here for probably like, I want to say a year and a
Yeah,
half-ish.
yeah. See, and that's the thing. If you move, you automatically go through stuff, and here not. And also Natalie figured so much stuff out, and we could put in a fire pit a lot of the paper stuff. But I always feel better if I get things away in a way, to get a little more things in order. And yeah, I mean that's
Oh, I've
basically.
been doing the same thing. I've been going through all my stuff in my garage and selling a whole bunch of stuff. Bunch of old stuff I don't need anymore, like a lot of old toys and knickknacks and stuff from the past that fit very well into my 20s and maybe even in my 30s, but I feel like in my adulthood, some of it is like almost embarrassing. Like, not that I'm ashamed of
Yeah,
liking some of the shit like Star Wars or whatever, but at the same time, there just comes a time when you're just like enough is enough. And like
yeah.
I'm starting to decorate my house like a little less like an arcade and more like an adult's house. Finally, it only took 40 years, but
Yeah. What I didn't do, look, I always feel like I'm still dressed like I was dressed 30 years ago. So, it's like I just have like sweatpants on or jeans and a sweater and whatever. I'm not ever start dressing like I'm an older man now. I just don't, it's not in me.
oh, not in the suit. That's
Yeah.
not, I've
No,
never seen you in that way.
no, that's not me. And that's the thing. But you're right. There's a lot of stuff we have here. Look here. There are like a lot of toys. I Walter doesn't play with them anymore. There are a lot of figures like Marvel and stuff like this. I put them on eBay, but even there, people like a few are sold, most of the stuff not. Lego you can sell. Like Lego, like you get rid of it. It's only the matter how much lower you go with the price. But I felt okay. So that's like that three tiers, right? If the kids don't want to play with it anymore, and then you put it on eBay, and if nobody buys it, if they're in 1 year here, I donate them all. Like then it's just over. So, but I mean, in that boxes are at least 1,500 bucks, like because all that stuff costs money. And then you feel like, okay, I try at least to make a buck back, but then it's over.
Like,
And
I'll waste my money on stuff like this. Like, look, like Laura Palmer wrapped up, kind of cool, but still kind of a waste of money at the same time.
yeah. Now look right now here, the Stranger Things people, like the little they are in the surprise eggs, all the cast from Stranger Things, and Walter is collecting them. He wants them all. And I told him you cannot buy this kind of choco eggs the whole time and eat chocolate over chocolate over chocolate. It's like horrible. And I think also they don't look good. They're like too cheap. It's this kind of bullshit. They're not collectibles or whatever. So I know already all these figures Yeah, see, all these figures will fly around at one point, and no, and he doesn't give a shit about it anymore. Same with like a lot of cards, like Pokemon. He had so much Pokemon, and he still has it. And he says, "Oh, that card is $1,000, whatever, right?" And I say, "Oh, I believe it if I see it. Put it on eBay. Let's see what's happening." I mean, there are some Pokemon cards that are expensive, but I mean,
If he keeps it in really good condition,
yeah,
maybe
you
he should
almost
try
have
to
to keep
sell
them
it.
in that plastic thing, right? So you cannot have it out of a plastic little box. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, they we're not there that you want to get rid of them or sell them. So this he still keeps, and we go from there. Did you went already in Avatar, or did you watch it already or not?
I did. I went to go see Avatar 3. Have you seen it yet?
Mm-mm.
No?
So what do you say?
I'd give it a 2.5 out of 5. I'd say it's the weakest of the three films. Um, it was a little boring. I used it to kill time because my mother is here visiting for the holidays
Yeah,
and she came in on a bus and the movie was like almost 4 hours long. So I was like, okay, I'll go to downtown Orlando. I'll
yeah.
go have lunch. I'll go see a movie. And I wanted to walk out several times. If it wasn't for me waiting for her for the bus, I probably would have walked out. Because it was a rehash of stuff that already happened in the previous films. It was stuff that we'd already seen. And there's a lot of good points where people say that the characters kind of suffer. It looks great. It looks like they
Is
spent a
it
whole
looking
lot of
better
money.
as the second one or is it the same basically?
It's the same. It looks the same. It's the same. It's the same big budget spectacle. It looks great as the other ones do,
Yeah,
but they're very consistent with the other ones. So don't expect anything new
yeah.
necessarily. I think the biggest difference is that one of the characters has red feathers on her hair. That's the biggest fucking.
No,
But
that's
yeah,
the
it
reason
was.
I'm not going to watch it. I mean, I had the first one was like a total revelation and a theatrical revolution, right?
Hmm.
And then the second one was more of the same, and I was already bored, and I cannot do it anymore. So I will maybe watch it when it's in
Oh,
TV and put it on fast forward. But it's I read what you wrote, what you just said. I read it in various reviews that it's more of the same and it doesn't has this kind of wow effect anymore. You're used to it. I don't know what went wrong with James Cameron in a way, to be honest, because think about it, he was one of the most successful directors before. He did a lot of technical revolutionary things like Terminator 2 and like groundbreaking movies. Also, Titanic was kind of groundbreaking. But the last 15 years of his life or more, he did only Avatar.
yeah.
I mean, for a director of that magnitude, that's really unseen that you completely dedicate yourself to always the same. He just said in an interview, I want to do other things too. Okay, then do it. I mean, you have the carte blanche, right? He can do whatever the fuck he wants. And that's the thing. I don't get it. Why he never was into like, okay, now I make a movie like The Godfather or whatever movie, whatever genre, whatever story, right?
Well, he does great sci-fi. Like he produced and distributed Strange Days with Lightstorm. Strange Days in 1997 with Ray Fiennes. I know it was
Yeah,
Catherine Bigelow directed it, his
yeah,
ex-wife,
yeah.
but that is a James Cameron like developed. That was his idea, and it shows how strong. I mean, that's a great concept, way ahead of its time. Bombed, and you're right. He's probably sitting on a lot more golden eggs, and Avatar is just getting in the way. Really, what Avatar is, and what it's proven itself to be, from what I saw, is it's the toy machine. Because after going to Disney as many times as I have gone, and seeing the rides that I've seen of Avatar, the movies are almost designed. It's like reverse engineered to look like the theme park at
Yeah.
this point. In Avatar 1, they kind of didn't look like the theme park. Everything looked a little bit different. But now these floating islands have been redesigned to look like the theme park.
Mm.
So it just feels like a giant toy, you know?
Yeah. But is it you think it's a money grab for him now, or is it
Yeah. Oh yeah, and if there's more coming, that'll be a shame because really the story's over. I'll just spoil it. Colonel Quaritch kills
Yeah.
himself at the end of the film, rather than surrender to
Yeah.
Jake Sully and the Na'vi. He
Yeah.
throws himself into this fire like volcano, and that's the movie's over. And I don't know how they would possibly go on after that. The story's done. And if it does, it would be the most boring shit in history. Same thing with Wicked. There's no way to fucking keep the story going. The story's
No.
over.
Yes. Look at when Daniel Craig got killed as James Bond. You
They shouldn't
remember
have
the
done
one
that.
when he was on the roof and then the racket came and everything exploded. But he didn't. He's not coming back. But they killed him off without ever having a plan B, as we see, because now for 5 years later, there's still no James Bond. So, and I don't want to see that happen with Avatar. I hope that James Cameron will move on and make any other film I'm happy to check out, right? But I think he has to really like stop it. That's my message to him. Don't use your last 10 years you have making movies or something with
Just
this.
for fucking, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
toys.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, he was always kind of a sci-fi futuristic guy in a way with his movies, but there are other movies he can do something whatever AI controls the earth, like a kind of the end of the world scenario, whatever, but he can whatever he wants. So yeah, I mean, but I wanted to ask because I felt that you watched it already, and but I also another subject I wanna talk about today is, and I don't know what your reaction to it is, but I'm absolutely shocked, not shocked, but so disillusionized about everything, about all the Epstein stuff, what comes out. When you see
Oh
that,
boy.
when you see that photos, when you see Bill Clinton in the bikini, whatever, like in a woman's dress painted on the wall. You have him in the bathtub, in a pool with young girls, Bill Clinton. You have Bill Gates, you have Kevin Spacey, you have David Copperfield.
Let's put up one great point here is that a lot of stuff is being let released to kind of lead you to believe that these people are the only conspirators when Donald Trump is nowhere to be found. He's been completely scrubbed from the
Yes,
records.
no, Donald Trump is part of it, and I think it's time to say it how it really is. There is a fucking money-loaded elite who play with everything: the rule of law, the ethics, empathy. They give a and they outing themselves. And I think from Bill Gates to Bill Clinton and all the people, including Trump and so on, they're like the scum of the earth. That is what I really believe, right? So that they should get all like kind of it's nothing where they could get prosecuted for, but I think it's an absolutely wake up call to they think they're above the law, and they do that all the time, all of them.
And the Department of Justice is in compliance with them. The Department of Justice is corrupt
Yeah,
to
but I
redact
100%.
or
They
yeah.
redacted the files. They're putting it all out, and every day comes new scandalous photos and all this stuff. But it shows what was most appalling or shocking for me is you have people sitting there like Steve Bannon at the desk with Epstein. And on the desk are photos from underage girls half naked. So think about it. It was not how we felt in the beginning that you have this kind of money advisor Epstein who turned rich. And then he lured people in personally, whatever, and said, let's come to the island. I host and wine you. And then there are girls, whatever. It's only half of the story. I think the other half is that he didn't even shy away, that they did that open in public. And they all thought the whole time they're totally above the law. When you see like his massage room, whatever, there were photos from that girls naked on the walls in the massage room. So if I'm like, let's say somebody invites me on holidays, I go somewhere and living on a private property or whatever, right? So I'm Bill Clinton, and I walk around and I see that's a massage room. There are photos of like 16 years old girls naked, and the same girls running around in the house in a bikini, and I'm going into the pool with them. I mean, I don't know what that is, but I mean, at least you should get like fucking pummeled for it, right? So you should get like really problems that you are a piece of shit like this, and that you gave a shit to just have non-stop younger prostitutes around you. And instead, the reality is they totally uh, like loved it. They
What
loved
sucks
it
is
for
that
years and years.
some people are probably getting caught up. Like what you're saying is 100% it happened.
Yes,
It's true.
yes.
And it's disgusting. And it's unfortunate that some people, like Bill Clinton, may or may not be guilty. We're not sure. He says, and of course, anybody would say, I didn't do it. I never went. That could or could not be true. But what if it is true that he didn't go and he was legitimately being, or he is legitimately being sort of framed as if he is this predator just because he has so many pictures of himself with a guy who was obsessed with
But we have there are
Randy.
pictures with him with girls, tons.
Yes, that's
He was,
true. In
and
the
he
tub,
was
you're right.
whatever 10, 20 times on that island, right? And
Was
10,
he? Because he just recently said he wasn't. I don't know.
no, no, of course he was a lot of times in on the island. And you have I go here, I should show you. And
Because he denied it like I think 2 days ago or something. He said that he didn't know and he was a part of he immediately like ceased all communications with Epstein the moment that he knew that something bad was amiss and he had never been on the island, and I forgot what the fuck else he said, but at the same time, like I said, he's not going to say, yeah, I went to the island and I fucked those girls, they were really cool, because we know what his history is in the White House, the cigar, in the pussy. You know what I'm talking about? You remember that.
yeah, but look here.
Oh my God. Wait, is that real, dude? That's not
Look, no,
real.
no, no, wait. That is a painting. What
Okay.
was on the wall? But why is a painting of Bill Clinton in a woman's dress on the wall at an Epstein building? That's Bill Clinton in the airplane with one of the girls, right? So
Yeah.
that was he was
There's Monica.
Zelensky, yeah. So
You want
what
to
he
hear something funny? My sister was an intern at the White House the same time as Monica.
yeah.
Yeah, she was on a different wing, but she has pictures of her with Bill.
Look, Clinton in the pool with a girl. She's
Oh
blacked out.
boy. Oh boy. See, that's a little incriminating. Were they
Clinton
naked?
with
Are they
another
naked?
girl. With no, no, he has a swimsuit on, but with another girl and Maxwell in the pool. And I mean,
Well,
sorry,
yeah, it
but
looks like they were partiers, man. That's what
yeah,
it
they
looks
were
like
the
to
whole
me.
time together. He was a lot of times there. Here was Mick Jagger and Epstein on a dinner with Maxwell on a dinner. Here was um, Michael Jackson,
Michael
Diana
Jackson.
Ross. Yeah. So I mean, I have to say, I mean, I looked at a lot of the photos, and
I want to see the Trump
he,
shit. I want to see the Trump shit.
yeah, but
So
don't focus only on Trump, because the thing is, like, of course, Trump is using his position now to cover himself up and to redact all this stuff, 100%. But still, Trump had like 380 times he's mentioned in because they didn't redacted the texts. The photos they sorted out, right? But there are a lot of texts, like a lot of in the released files. And Trump is named, I think, 365 times, Clinton 477 times on text messages, on emails. So they were very good buddies. They were hanging out together. And I mean, Trump, before he was, as we know, also how he met Melania, he was a New York nightlife like king guy, right? He walked around, he flirted with girls left and right. So look at his other girlfriends or affairs he had. So he was never clean. He was always kind of like a playboy going around, and Clinton too. And there's nothing against being a playboy, but there's something against like paying girls, flying them to an island, and then never really getting it, that they don't really want to do it, and they are paid to do it, and they don't really feel good about it, and you traumatize them with it. And I think that, I mean, that's the one thing. But the other thing is, for me, there are two things. They make it almost crystal clear that Epstein was killed. And there are two things. The one thing is the photo from the jail cell when they found him, right? There were like 20 bed sheets. And I will never forget that photo. I mean, sorry, but if you're in jail, you have the mattress, there's a cover, and there's a blanket and a pillow. And not 5 blankets, 5 pillows, 5 bed sheets. But it was all in his jail cell. I remember the photo. We can even find it 100%, where the body was already taken out, but there were like tons of sheets, tons of sheets. Where you think like, how is it? Is it a hotel? You just call, like, bring me 20 bed sheets or something. I mean, it doesn't make any fucking sense that in a jail you have a situation like this. That's the one thing. But the bigger thing is, of course, that it's 100% proven that the observation camera footage was like tempered, right? So there were like 3-4 minutes from that entrance to this hallway where he was, proven deleted. Like they were not there. And sorry, that's not like you have a restaurant when you have a camera and you have problems with the camera. That's a fucking jail where you have a whole observation, like you have various cameras, at the main entrance, in front of the jail, in the courtyard. You have everywhere cameras. The night he dies, out of the blue, there are 3 minutes, the entrance material is not there. I mean, that's not like an accident. I mean, that's like a hands-on, somebody deleted the footage. And if somebody deleted the footage, there's only one reason that you do this. It's because the murder went in and out, or the murderers. Because I think you need 2 or 3 people doing it. If you really want to hang somebody in a jail cell, watch my movie Stoic, right? So where something like this in a way happened. And I mean, that's the thing. It's like, for me, now where we have that Epstein-Files released, I think it's so clear that there was a fucking scared. What's coming out now is so embarrassing for everybody involved. Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, they will have a huge problem to be in public anymore after this stuff now, right? They lost all their credibility. And
that's what the point. That's what Trump wants. He wants Bill Clinton to lose all his credibility and not be able to be seen in public, and he wants to hurt them as much as possible, whether they're guilty or not. So
yeah, but I think also, like, I mean, let's face it, Trump didn't want to release anything, and then he got pressured by his own party. I mean, the whole MAGA movement run on the Epstein files have to get public, right? And he couldn't like get away with not putting it out at all. That was the reason that he was like so like loose, right? Like, should we do it? Should we not do it? Should we do it? Should we not do it? I maybe do it, I maybe not. So he didn't want to do it, but his own party pressured him. Because there was like from Tucker Carlson to like all these people, Ben Shapiro, like everybody, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Joe Rogan, everybody who supported him being reelected said, no, you have to release that files. That was the reason they're getting released now, but of course tampered with. But for me, it's so clear that all these people had him killed. I don't know who pulled it off his ass, but I don't think.
Well, think of it like the pyramid. Like Trump is at the top. Trump says to one of his aides or whatever, his close aides, "This is what I want," and then they phone the jailer at one of these at this place, and then he talks to one of his guys underneath him, and he goes personally to the cell, and then he says, "Look, we'll pardon you. You'll get a full pardon. You'll be able to go home if you do this one thing for us. No questions asked. Do this, and you can go home. What do you choose? To stay here for, 20 years to life or whatever, or do what we want?" And of course the guy's going to say, "I'll help you." Any prisoner is going to be desperate to get out of that situation. And I bet you 9 out of 10, that's exactly what happened. And they helped cover the tracks.
And also with a child predator kind of guy like Epstein, you don't have a big problem to find in jail people that hang him. But it is for me so clear, and it would be almost like with the footage gone, it would be like you have the Zapruder film from JFK driving by, and then comes a cat, like I said, and then comes a cut, and you have the car where Kennedy's dead stand there, right? So you film the whole parade, but the moment the shots were fired, oh, my camera
Yeah.
didn't worked. I mean, it would be nobody would believe you. And that's the same with the bed sheets and the saying, the amalgamation of total absurdities in that jail cell. And also, that's the other thing. Epstein got away with this behavior for 25 years. And he got richer and more powerful in that time period. And he never really went a long time to jail, even if they tried to put him to jail. And I don't think he was the type to just hang himself. You know, I think he was like, yeah, they have to let me go. They have to rig the case against me because otherwise they will be all on the stand. Everybody else will go to jail. Maybe Epstein felt, okay, maybe they will kill me. But why should Epstein kill himself? Right? I mean, that's the thing. Is I think at that point where he was hanging in a jail cell dead, he still saw that he has so much material amalgamated about so many powerful people that they would let him go or pardon him, you
Yeah, he
know.
should have had some kind of like a backup plan where, like, if anything happened to him, that the material would be released to the public. But
Yes, he
he's
maybe
naive.
felt so safe, right? He felt maybe so safe that he did not this. And that was a big mistake. He would be still alive. If he would have, there is a safe in Europe somewhere, they're the most damning evidence against you, Trump, Gates, Clinton. And if for whatever reason I die, that will go to the Guardian or the London Times, like all of it, and you're toast, right? Then he would never get touched, you know, and he would also not get on trial. It would be like Trump would pre-pardon him, like, okay, bye, you can go, case closed. And nobody would stop Trump doing it. As a president, he had the power to do all kinds of shit. I mean, that's the thing, but it's so dirty, and it shows this kind of all these people think they're above the law. And I think also we see the same kind of behavior, I think now with AI. I
What
think
do
the
you
people
mean?
who, because look at that, who are the richest people now? They're all like AI companies, you know, like I mean, Google, Apple, they all do now go in full on AI. Meta, Nvidia, they're also the richest people in the world now. And they tell everybody it's all under control, it's good, it's helping everybody, blah, 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 blah. But they know, and instinctively, we know also that it's not good for us. It will take so many jobs away, and they will not do what, you know, when Joe Rogan talks to them, he always says, we just have to give the people money. And Elon Musk says, we just have to give the people then the money because they have no more job. But we all know that will never happen. The people will just get fired and don't get any money, right?
Yeah, we don't live in fucking the communist society.
It's absolutely not. And that's the thing. What will happen? What will happen is you will have like 30, 40 million Americans will lose their job in the next 5 years based on AI. Like you are replaced, bookkeepers, programmers, you know, like all kinds of like people that make websites, people like graphic designers, whatever. Like there are a lot of jobs where people will be absolutely gone. Music composers, you know, like script doctors, maybe not script writers completely, even script writers, but script doctors or people like the editors of something. I mean, that's the reality. It will destroy so fast so many jobs. There is no way that when the Nvidia boss was at Joe Rogan and he said, but you need people, they do whatever, you will create new jobs, building them, producing the machines, producing the batteries for all the electricity what is used. That's not in a, even
Yeah.
close to, that's one job you create new for 25 jobs who get omitted.
And it could be in a different bracket of income. Like, it's like saying you're going to go from like a college level job placement to like working at Taco Bell or something. You could be working for a lot less wages, and maybe it might be in a less stable job position.
Yes.
Like, I think that it's unfortunate. Not everybody is young and able to do the exact same jobs or do physical labor. And a lot of people waste a lot of money on these college degrees. I mean, look at me now. I've gone back to school just because of this fucking how competitive it's gotten out there,
Yeah.
and how necessary it is to have a degree. But at some point, this I'm going to hit the glass ceiling because no matter how many degrees you have, if there's no jobs, like I know a lot of people right now who have like a bachelor's degree and there's no fucking job. You know what I mean?
Guess what?
So it's
That's what I think. I think AI develops so fast. They always say they have it all under control, but they don't. And the reality is that they, like the Sam Altman, think about Sam Altman. He came across in the beginning like he's the only guy who's going for the science only. It's chat GDPs for everybody. It should be for free, blah, blah, blah. And what is he now? He's like 40 billion private wealth, right? So, and it will go like up like this. And for them in the very end, it's all about the money. And then they building their own fortresses in New Zealand to survive the Armageddon. Like that's the thing. It's like they already know they're only acting in front of us and don't admitting like we will have kind of a total industrial revolution in front of us since the time somebody created the fire. That changed everything when they made it that you control fire and you can cook stuff, stuff like this. And then after this came the machine, like a fuel-driven machines. So we are in the same situation now, like where everything will completely change. And
oh boy.
yeah, but that's my feeling. And yes, you will have a lot of things where AI will help you, and you have a lot of things, but it will not create jobs in a way it destroys jobs. And that really brings that question up, like what to do with all that people,
Yeah, it's going to
like
be
the
unfortunate because
yeah,
like it's like when I moved to Salt Lake City in 2005 or 2006, it was because after 9/11 in New York, the years that passed in the immediate, aftermath of that, there wasn't a lot of jobs for educated people, and they were competing for low-level jobs because the economy was such shit under George Bush, Jr. So I left because like people who had full degrees were competing for jobs as an usher at a movie theater, and there was a ton of them, and they were like, there's no way without we have people with PhDs trying to get a job here, and I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. So I went to Utah, and there was
yeah,
work there. Unlike the East Coast, it feels like where there's more people in a more condensed area, there's going to be less jobs. A place like New York, a place like LA, I think that they're gonna be in real trouble when what you describe comes to pass.
yeah. I mean, when I told you when I was in LA at the film market, and you have that Waymo cars driving everywhere without a driver, right? So, and I mean, now you have 500 cars driving in Beverly Hills around, and maybe another 500 cars in Santa Monica. But I mean, think about it. They create less accidents, it turned out. They're safer. They're also safer for the passengers in a way because you don't have a crazy driver or whatever, right? And so if this machine learning car driving, think about 10 years from now on, it will be
Yeah.
100% safe. And then you don't need any drivers anymore, period. The Uber drivers are done. Taxi drivers are done, like completely. And I think in the US are over 2 million drivers, like
Gosh.
right now, so that's not a small cut of jobs. That's a revolutionary completely what the fuck, like that's the thing. That's what I mean. It's like when they started, that happened, like that revolution was already 20 years ago. It started 10 years ago with the robots, right? So when you see now car manufacturing halls, like go to VW, Porsche, Ford, whatever, you have like a mile long manufacturing streets with robots putting the car together. So, like you have, like, look at photos from 30 years ago. You had like 50,000 people in that hall putting the cars together. And now you have like 500 people working there, and the rest are the robots.
Yeah, the
And
machines putting it
yeah, the
all.
machines, yeah, the manufacturing machines, right? Look at Amazon. Like you have people, like you had in the beginning at Amazon, people looking for the stuff, packing it in, sending it out. Look at the Amazon factories now. They don't need people anymore, right? You type in on Amazon, you buy a fucking DVD. There will be a robot putting that DVD in the envelope, getting out to the mail, right? So, and there will be no people involved in this shipment anymore, zero. And then the only person who will ship it is the driver. So who gets it, right? So, but they're also working on drone delivery, all this stuff, and you have less and less people necessary. And companies like Amazon, of course, are normally very human driven because you have so much shit to do that you have a lot of employees, right? So, and because you have so much little shit also, somebody whatever orders this one figure and somebody has to pack it in, so you still have humans at Amazon, but less and less, so. And now if you have this robots driven by AI, like the AI could basically control the robots, right? So you don't have this kind of technicians anymore doing it. The AI can totally do it. That's typical stuff what AI can take over, the whole handling of all shipments on Amazon. That's totally doable. Like in 10 years, I bet Amazon doesn't really need any human anymore. And only Jeff Bezos counting like how much money I should spend on my next yacht or flying to the moon with my buddy. Yeah, no, but that's the thing, and that is because I have a huge struggle in myself. I'm pro-capitalism, but I'm not like my Dami fan in New York. But we're standing here in front, I think, of a major political turmoil, right? Because it is completely wrong to be now, oh, we're communists, we have to take it from the rich all the way. That's wrong too. But we also cannot have 50 people in the end owning everything. And when I
Yeah,
mean
because
everything,
trickle
means
down
everything.
economics doesn't work, dude.
No, you need people, you need for people having a chance to climb up the ladder. You need still people who can work their ass off and are successful. But if you have this much capital, you see, like Netflix swallows up Warner Brothers, like the concentration of wealth is absolutely visible. Oracle turned so big because of AI that was pocket money, the 20 billion for Paramount. And now they want to spend 110 billion also buy Warner Brothers because the capital amalgamates so fast in their tech companies that they can do whatever the fuck they want. Think about it, the Elon Musk 1 trillion package. Like if Tesla hits the
Man,
milestone. Yeah, I think that's all the stuff for
that's
the
where the real money is, huh? Jesus.
yeah. Yeah, but not for us, because
We don't have the investors, yeah.
when we buy something, that we already missed the real train. Like we should bought Nvidia 20 years ago for like $1 a stock. Then we would be rich. But 20 years ago, we had no clue that Nvidia exists. Think about how much Mark Zuckerberg paid for his stocks. Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing. Sergey
yeah.
Brin and the Google Larry Page from Google. They just opened the company and kept most of the stocks for themselves with absolutely no investment whatsoever. They just had a great idea. And then they are now sitting on hundreds of billions on stock value. And that's really crazy. And I mean, as I said, I think in medical things, I think that's definitely AI can help for diagnosis. They read MRIs better. The AI will create a lot of positive things, 100%. But at the same time, it's similar to whatever. We know social media makes you addicted, and we know the bullying there, and we know all this stuff, but nobody stops it. It's not good that Walter watches 5 hours a day short videos, and then you take the phone away, then he's watching it on the TV, then take the TV away and watching it on an iPad, and like whatever, like you have no chance
It's
to take
everywhere.
It's
Yeah.
everywhere. It's like, and then they do
Yeah.
another look in Australia now. They said no more TikTok for kids under 16. So yeah, but the reality is, as you go to your mother, you say, here, look, Face ID, boop, and you have it. Like you fake your age. That's so easy online. And then, or you do a VPN. You just go VPN LA. I mean, it costs you $20 to have a VPN where you just log in from Los Angeles or from New York, and then you have TikTok, or even in Australia. Like everybody who has a brain, like kids are so good with like
Oh, yeah.
my KJ and Walter know way more how to download something, how to get something going. They're so gaming orientated also. They know 10 times better how to log in wherever the fuck they want. And then if you say you don't use TikTok anymore, 2 hours later, back on. Yeah, you
Yeah,
have no chance.
kids are
Yeah.
smart, dude. They are
Yes.
very smart.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think we have it for today. A lot of unsettling things, but also positive things. We will look into 2016 to be hopefully being in good shape with Statista Vigilante. People watch Run, still there, watch the movie, and the
Is this
editing is
going to
good.
be our last show of the year, or are we going to do
Maybe,
one
no, we
more?
can do one more before New Year, but maybe after the Christmas day. Yeah, and
So this is like our Christmas episode here. Okay. All right.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like I'm kind of in a positive mood with all the negativity, but I really hope that we find with everything the common ground. A guy today wrote, if Netflix gets Warner, it's all over. Like a Hollywood Reporter guy or a Variety guy. And it's kind of true, right? Streaming destroyed first Blu-ray and DVD and all the TV channels and cable channels. And I think social media with TikTok and all that stuff destroys, to be honest, theatrical. The movie
It,
theaters, they struggle for survival because people also watch only 10 seconds videos now and not full movies. And this together with streaming, that the streamers buying all the movie companies. And then AI comes and replaces actors and like all this shit. It's like it really I feel the best time for movies was between 1975 and maybe 2000. They were the best movies produced of all times.
yeah, before we go really quick, I
Yeah.
actually looked up a couple of films to add to the drama list from last time. So really
Okay.
quick. So what about Barton Fink from
The
1991? A renowned
Coen
New
Brothers.
York playwright is enticed to California to write for the movies, discovers the hellish truth of Hollywood. I thought that was an excellent film.
Yeah. And
What do
made
you
the
think?
Coen Brothers. Was it one of the first successes of the Coen Brothers, right? So anyway, yeah, very good film. I agree.
And here's another one. Glengarry Glen Ross,
Oh,
1992.
masterpiece.
James Foley, director, an examination of the machinations behind the scenes at a real estate office with Jack Lemmon and Al Pacino. I'm glad that you liked it too.
Yeah.
Excellent film. I had to put it on my list
Yeah,
here.
that is actually in my list too. That was so good.
Here's another one. The Player, 1992.
Robert
Director.
Altman.
Yes, a
Yeah.
hotshot Hollywood studio executive starts receiving death threats from a rejected writer. Excellent film, great, sharp satire, also great suspense.
Tim Robbins, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Tim Robbins and an all-star cast, mostly playing themselves.
No, The Player was one
And
of the best reflections on Hollywood too. And for me, The Player was maybe the best Robert Altman film, even better as MASH.
okay, yeah, no, it was probably my favorite Robert Altman film, so
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
yeah.
The next one, you're probably going to deeply disagree with me, but I thought it was a touching film, even if it is a remake and everybody hated it. I liked the movie Vanilla Sky, directed
Oh,
by Cameron Crowe from 2001. No?
no, no, no fucking way.
The self-indulgent and vain
Yeah.
publishing magnate finds his privileged life upended after a
And
vehicular
Tom Cruise
accident.
felt sorry for himself the whole movie. So
I just thought it was cool that he was playing against his type because normally he plays a pretty boy, and I'd say the first half, the first act of the film, he does play a very vapid, vain, pretty boy, and then after the car accident, the seclusion, the depression, it might be kind of like stereotypical at times and cheesy, but it was a cute romance. I don't know.
I
And
don't
it's
know.
hard for me to get into romances. So as far as romance drama goes, that's the closest I'm going to get. And let's see. We have Godfather 1, we have
Yeah.
Godfather 2, we have Apocalypse Now. You didn't like Eyes Wide Shut. How about this one? Liolo from 1992. Director Jean-Claude Lauzon. Have you seen this film?
What is the title?
Liolo.
Liolo.
The
Never.
story of a young Canadian boy who tries to escape his mentally disturbed family thanks to his fantasy and imagination.
Never
It
heard
is
of
a
it.
it is a French film. It's awesome. Leolo.
Now, if I put it in, comes Lilo and Stitch up here on my Google.
No,
But no, you have to send me a link to this. I
from
never.
1992.
And another one,
Nothing?
or that was it?
Okay, how about Old Boy from 2003? Park Chan-wook,
Yeah,
director.
very, very good. The remake was also not so bad, but the original was better.
Yes, the remake was okay,
Yeah.
but you can't go wrong with the original, of course.
No,
Here's
that's
another one. Gone Girl from 2014.
Ben Affleck. One of the best Ben Affleck films. Good film, surprising ending, but it would be not in my top 50. Wait, I have to open the door. Hang on a second. Say the next one.
Okay, Body Double, 1984, Brian De Palma. A young actor's obsession with spying on a woman who lives nearby leads to a baffling series of events with drastic consequences.
Say the title again.
Body Double, De Palma.
Brian De Palma. No, no. I did some videos. We will put them up also in English about individual directors,
Okay.
where Brian De Palma is one of them, where I talked about. And
You don't
uh,
like De Palma?
oh, Carrie, right?
Okay.
Dressed
Yeah.
to Kill.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay. Good. 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 Good.
yeah. But
Dress to Kill is excellent.
and he did the Untouchables with Kevin Costner,
Yes.
where we want to do the Elliot Ness, the second part of the same thing. I mean, that's the
Will
part.
Elliot Ness ever be made, though? Will you ever make that film?
I don't know. They want to do it now, the same story with the guy who did Weapons.
Oh, really?
The same director, yeah. The Torso Murders. So they will maybe do this thing, and we were never involved, even if we're the first people developed it and came up with it. That's too bad. Yeah.
Maybe you can make your own version that's better than his. You know? I don't know.
Oh, but he get the financing and not me. So that's the thing. No, yeah.
So here's another one. It's a French film from 1946, La Belle et la Bête, Beauty and the Beast by Jean
Yeah.
Cocteau.
I know the film, but no, not my.
When I
Some
was a
movies
kid,
aged not so good, let's say it this way. Yeah.
when I was a young child, I would watch that film on VHS and I would pause every single frame, pause frame by frame, just to see how they did the special effects. I watched the whole thing multiple times. I was a young child. I must have been like 5, 6 years old. And I loved it. It was great. But the transitions in that film are way ahead of their time. If you look, that it was made in 1946.
I know I watched it and it didn't age too well, let's say it this way.
Don't think that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I agree to disagree, but it's all good. Here's another one. How about Match Point, Woody Allen, 2005?
Very good film. Woody Allen, of course, that's worth to do another video about him because he made so many movies that we forgot a lot. And we should go through all the movies and discuss Woody Allen because I think he did at least 4 or 5 absolutely masterpieces. And so
I think you're right. I think
yes.
that it would be smarter. Some of the bigger directors we should do, like De Palma, you're right. Woody Allen, even Spielberg should get their own episode and their
Yes.
own. Yes.
And look, I did these short videos, what you will get soon. And then we should talk about my short videos. And because you will say you forgot that film, you forgot this film from the individual directors, right? I think I did Cronenberg, I did Lynch, and I'm sure I missed something or I misunderstood a film. But now I have to do dinner here. I have to so
Okay.
let's do one before the new year.
All right. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and all. Don't forget, stay healthy and watch Run over the holidays.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I sure will get that review up.
Yeah.
Take care, okay?
Okay. Bye.